Hello and welcome to Sunday Night Live with the Bechtloff, done in special NPR voice because that makes everything sound so much more sophisticated. How we all doing, folks? Let's see, a couple of things I wanted to talk about real quick, and then I might take a look at the chat. Which one of these? I got the 5 top here. Oh, VidMe. I hit that real quick. New VidMe video is up. A fun fact about the Amish. It's actually an excerpt from one of my streams, but good stuff. So do check out the VidMe page. I think it's like vidme.com/thebechtloff. All the social media I'm on has links to it. Gab, Facebook, Twitter. So check that out. Somebody in the chat says we want more retard sex. Oh, you have no fucking idea what I got to talk about tonight. First, let's bring this article up. I want to tell you fine folks about an upcoming movie that you can help kickstart if you feel so inclined, called Bubble Butt. Yes, that's what it's called. And what might this movie be about, you ask? Well, is it about a chick with a big old fat ass? Is it about anal sex even? Well, you're getting warmer. I'm stalling as I bring this up on my phone. But yes, let's talk about Bubble Butt, folks. You can go to Kickstarter.com and search for Bubble Butt, and you'll be able to support this fine program or this fine movie. You get this film, this tour de force made, because the world needs to see this. Come on. Bubble Butt is, all right, sorry, loading on my phone here. Bubble Butt is an absurdist dramedy thriller / comedy. It'll catch on. And I'm reading from the site, by the way, about a 34-year-old mama's boy named Brandon who, chances are, hasn't done a sit-up since the womb, out of the reach of his overbearing house, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. He hangs out in the woods a lot because he's a fucking porn-addicted loser. I'm not going to read this whole thing because who the hell has the time? During one of these visits in the wood, Brandon comes across an unconscious woman, hair stringy and covering her face, getting pulled slowly into a large hole in the ground. Tries to help, but the hole is so strong. Okay, basically, he goes in the middle of the woods and he sees a woman getting swallowed alive by a giant anus in the middle of the ground. And this is the hole persists in devouring the stash of porn Brandon holds dear. I don't know why the porn is in the woods. Okay. Apparently, I skipped an important plot point in this synopsis. And he has no choice but to dive in himself and confront the very thing he once left in the dusty crevices of his memory. So yeah, he jumps into a giant asshole that's on the ground in the middle of the woods. This has a $4,000 budget. How the fuck you make a movie on $4,000? I don't fucking know. But they're already at like halfway to the fucking goal. Or maybe it was 40. Did I look at that wrong and it was actually 40,000? Maybe I just was all dyslexic and I got the number of zeros wrong. Point is, either way, it's I don't know how the fuck you make a movie on that. Deep lore. Yes, it's deep lore, all right. On one level, I mean, if this is meant to be some sort of horror movie, I mean, horror movies can be very fucked up and work very effectually. This, however, this is just some like fucking deviant art fetish shit that he wants to make into a movie. This is yeah. So yeah, go support that movie if that's the movie you're dying to see. There you go. If you're just dying to learn about a giant asshole that, Sarlacc pit sucks people into it. I'm kind of sad that didn't. I found out about that literally maybe 20 minutes after I shut the stream off yesterday. So, we could have had Luke here showing us all. They have a mock-up of it, by the way, of what the asshole in the ground looks like. What else has going on tonight? George Romero died. That's kind of a shame. Speaking of horror movies, speaking of, worthwhile horror movies. Yeah, that's kind of a shame. He was only 77, which is hardly young, but it's not super, super old. But yeah, that's kind of a shame. I really enjoyed Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. Hell, I even like the Dawn of the Dead remake for the mid 2000s. That was pretty good. Let's see, what else did I want to get onto here? Everybody's talking about there's a new female Doctor Who, and I don't really give a damn about Doctor Who. It's one of those things that, like, hell, in fact, I'm thinking of making the next video, like the 10 things, like, that are really popular that I don't get. Shit like Dragon Ball Z. I don't fucking see the appeal of that at all. But Doctor Who's another one where, and I kind of see the appeal. I mean, some of the very early, Doctor Who from like the 60s or whatever is pretty decent. And the mythos in it is interesting enough, but the actual quality of the show, even aside from the SJW horseshit in it, it's not very good in my opinion. But on the one hand, I will say, I don't think it's that out of line with Doctor Who mythos that Doctor Who ends up being a woman in one of the incarnations. Now, let me stress this. This is kind of like when, Jane Foster became Thor here recently, or, Sam Wilson became Captain America. I don't think they're bad ideas in and of themselves, but they were executed extremely poorly. They were written as, gender studies and Black Lives Matter, the comic books, respectively. This, I have no doubt, will be a whole bunch of feminist horseshit. And therein lies your problem. The actual idea, though, that Doctor Who becomes unless there's something in Doctor Who lore that this contradicts, as I understand it, he dies and is reborn in different forms. So I don't really see any reason he couldn't come back as a woman. But I'm sure it's going to be all about fucking, this is, let's be real. We all know why they did this. They didn't do this because the writers got together and decided this would be the best way to tell the most interesting stories. They did this because it would be a shot in the arm to this franchise, because it would get them tons of attention and bullshit like that. I don't think it's going to work. I think long run, it'll stand or fail on its merits. And if they're literally just doing this for the sake of doing it, then it's probably not going to have much merit. That said, though, I'm not a Doctor Who guy. Like I said, it's one of those things I just don't get. It's like, Dragon Ball Z, or everybody's like, just so great, and I look at it, it's like, this is shit. I don't see the appeal. Although I think I'd probably rather watch Doctor Who than Dragon Ball Z. If a gun to my head and I had to pick one, I could probably, at least things happen in an episode of Doctor Who. They don't spend fucking 15 episodes staring at each other. But yeah, this is this typical of the bullshit that SJW is pulling media. You know why they're doing it, and you attack them for why they're doing it, and then they just want to be like, "Oh, you don't think that a fictional alien that gets reborn could be a woman? Oh, you just get no butthurt." No, I don't think this is a good idea because I know why you're doing it. But yeah, I just thought it was worth commenting on. Again, I'm not a huge Doctor Who guy myself. I mean, I don't really like it. Like I said, I'm probably gonna do like top 10 things I just don't get that everyone fucking likes, and Doctor Who will be on that list. Fucking Dragon Ball Z would be on that list. I don't know what else would make it. Yeah, I want to say Star Wars, but I kind of get why people like Star Wars. I just don't get why it's as popular as it is. I get why people like it. The first 3 movies are undeniably, damn solid flicks. I just don't get the level of popularity on it. especially since, it's produced, what, 4 shitty movies in a row? I haven't seen the spinoff, so I've heard mixed things about that. But I mean, how many times does it have to shit in your face before you get the message and stop lining up for the next one? And yeah, the top 10 list would be animated. That'll be on the VidMe page. Somebody asked in the chat. I'm sort of keeping an eye on the chat, not really, because I'm mostly just glancing over every once in a while to make sure I haven't slipped into fucking robot voice, audio issues, shit like that. All right. Greg Bubble. Okay, so I'm bang through my topics here except for one. Let me see if I can bring up the article that I want to talk about here. I'm trying to bring it up on my phone because I don't want to risk audio issues if I got too much shit going on the computer. Let's see. Come on. There we go. All right. This is from the American Conservative, .com, by Rod Dreher. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. I'm not going to go through the whole article, but basically, pardon me, DSP moment there. He talks about, and he's referencing an article from the Telegraph on a doctor who is talking about how she's dealing with a lot of teenage girls that are apparently dealing with incontinence issues because they're getting fucked in the ass too much. That's the culture we have now. That's the future we're securing for ourselves here. Let me see if I can find the part I wanted to talk on. These girls are very okay. I'll spare you the. Hang on. Pardon me. I'm trying to find the important parts here. I basically at one point here, the one thing in this article I take issue with is the typical slant of this is all the boys' fault, and these girls they don't want to do it, and it's just the boys are making them do it. They're not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's plenty of cases where that's what's going on. The girls getting pressured into it, but I'm sure there's plenty of cases of girls that want to impress this guy, and so they want to make sure he knows she's the 3 input chick to get herself. The door swings both ways, undeniably. And if there's one thing I get sick of in this shit, when you're trying to address these cultural sexual issues we have. And you get this from the right, you get this from evangelicals a lot. And I imagine the American conservatives, a lot of basic bitch type conservatism, but it's always this thing of, it's always the men's fault. And the women are just these poor, sweet, put upon angels, then the men are doing them wrong. And it's just not the case. In fact, in many cases, the exact opposite is true. The sexual morals of a culture, generally speaking, are going to be as high as the women in that culture demand them to be. That's how an actual civilization works. Now, yeah, when civilization breaks down, and you kind of have a bit more of a might makes right situation, and then the strongest and most powerful men are calling the shots on what exactly the bitches will do. But sorry, ladies, when civilization breaks down, you kind of revert to property. That's just the name of the game. That said, though, when you have a comfortable and relatively safe civilization, as we still do, despite our problems, you're the ones calling the shots when it comes to sexual norms. When it comes, you are the gatekeepers when it comes to it. So yeah, I don't buy this crap. Oh, it's the boys' fault. They watch too much porn and they're pressuring these girls, and I don't buy that. Now I don't doubt that porn is pushing things in this direction. What I think is pushing things more in that direction is the mainstream acceptance of it. Look, porn's been around for a while. All right. It was, I mean, when I was a kid, you know, you stumbled onto some porn, maybe you found a tape, you know, or something, and oh, but you couldn't find it easily. Maybe you found a mag from an older cousin or something, whatever. Now, obviously, you got the internet. So I realized that's a whole different um, that's a whole different ballpark. That said, though, that I don't think that's what's driving it. What I think is driving it to be this like, look, you got to be having a lot of fucking butt sex to be having these kind of problems, particularly when you're young and heal pretty easily. All right, you could be fucking up the ass a lot. All right, it's not like the girl let her boyfriend fuck her in the ass one time and that's how it happened. Okay, real talk here. I'm going to be honest because I guess I'm a big old hypocrite here, condemning pushing anal sex on teenagers. But yeah, but I had already fucked my girlfriend in the ass before I finished high school. My girlfriend and I had done basically everything we could think to do with each other. Which wasn't, I mean, I should admit, everything we could think of at the time was pales in comparison to the Hellraiser box people seem to have opened these days. But yeah, I would argue that articles like that fucking Teen Vogue, which is like, here's how you have anal sex, that is what's doing this. Because again, it isn't like you fucked a chick in the ass one time and her asshole fell out, all right? That's not what's happening here. That's not what's causing this. Okay? The fact that we're pushing anal sex on teenagers, the fact that we're pushing the gay fucking bullshit all over the place is what's doing this. Once again, conservatives just can't really face real problems. These basic bitch conservatives, oh, it's the porn. We got to go after the porn. We should make the porn illegal. Yeah, good fucking luck. How the hell are you going to do that? How the hell do you think you're going to do that? You know, the only way you're going to make porn illegal is if you give the government massive, sweeping powers over the internet. And do you think for a fucking moment that's a good idea? Because I got news for you. What the government wants to shut down on the internet is shit like exactly what I'm doing right now. All right? It's alternative media sources. It's dissenting opinions. It's the people not getting with the program. That's what they want to be able to shut down. That's what they want to go after. So giving the government sweeping powers over the internet is a bad fucking idea. I don't care how much of a fucking crisis porn is. And again, I don't even think it's porn that's doing it. I think it's the political normalization of fucking all this shit. It isn't porn that dragged this all out of the closet, out of the bedroom, and into fucking Main Street. And I'm not saying porn's a good thing, by the way. Trust me, it does a lot of damage, especially to a young mind. And I can't imagine how bad it must be having so much access to so much porn. You know, it is really kind of a mental junk food. Yeah, you look at a dirty mag, it's not going to fucking turn you into a serial killer. You watch a porno tape, it's not going to fuck you up for life. But if you're just eating a steady diet of it, it is going to mess you up. It is going to, it is going to fuck you up. But I don't believe there's a government solution to the porn crisis. The porn crisis solution is at a family level. What the fuck are you letting teenagers have unfiltered access to the internet in the first place for? Unfiltered, unmonitored access to the internet. You give a fucking horny teenager unfiltered, unmonitored access to the internet. What the fuck do you think he's going to do? All right? A teenage boy is probably jerking off like twice a fucking day if he's not getting laid. All right? He's the most horny he's probably going to be for the entirety of his life. He's got to get the poison out. Yeah, he's going to be looking at porn if you let him. So don't let him. I mean, again, this article misses the point. First of all, it pulls that typical evangelical white knight shit of, well, this is obviously all the boys' fault. All the boys' fault. No, it's not. And, well, it's because of all the porn, in part, but that's not even the main problem. The main problem is that you're working to normalize this shit. Again, I would argue that Teen Vogue fucking article, on how to take dicks in the ass, that did a lot more cultural damage than 1,000 porn videos. Because that's legitimate. See, porn is dirty. Porn is often but this was a legitimate, quote unquote, respectable group talking about it. It had an air of authority to teenagers. This was a doctor or whatever, some doctorate in, I don't know, fucking Latino gender, queer, trans, black studies or whatever. Yeah, that's what's causing it. And again, I just want you to step back and think like there's actual fucking health problems resulting from this. You want to think of the sheer amount of butt sex that has to be going on there for that to fucking happen. All right. Yeah, that's not happening because, the boyfriend, talked her into it one time. It doesn't work that way. It's not how it happens. Honestly, I wish conservatives could get. I wish more people on the right could just for once try and actually think things through and focus on real fucking problems. You just want to knee jerk an emotional reaction to it and go with what sounds great. Oh well, it was porn. Porn did it, and it was evil boys. My daughter is pure as the driven snow. She never thought to do any of this until that evil boy made her do it. He probably held her down and raped her. I'm just so sick of that fucking attitude from him. Now that said, though, I mean, again, if you're jerking off to porn all the fucking time, you need to knock it off. All right, that stuff will rot your brain and your soul, especially if you're a teenager. Don't let yourself get into a habit. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I might check the chat here. I don't know. I might wrap this up early. I want to go on longer than I need to. Let's see. How long have we been going on? Trying to check here. Sorry, it's not showing me right. What kind of person do you have to be when a gay guy has an only slightly more damaged anal cavity? That's what struck me about that article. I can't imagine how much you have to be getting fucked in the ass for it to fucking do that damage to you. It's such a, like, what are you doing, man? Yeah, I mean, geez, give it a rest once in a while. What the hell are you doing to yourself? Um, the conservatives dance around those issues because they've been too terrified to take a stand and then give up those bad habits they condemn. Somebody says gay sex is a dangerous activity. Oh, it is dangerous, actually. Yes, it is. I mean, look, anal sex is the most, I mean, medically dangerous kind of sex you can have. It's extremely bad for you physically. As I said, I mean, I don't want to over exaggerate it because, yeah, if it's not gonna, it's it's not gonna kill you. You do it once or something, but yeah, you make a fucking habit out of that. You make a regular fucking habit out of that. You are going to do immense damage to your body because that's not what your fucking asshole is for. I realize that's just you know, a modern society is bound and determined to, you know, at the rate we're gonna have genetic engineering just to fucking make the asshole more receptive to that because that's just what they're obsessed with. But no, that's not actually what it's for. Um, oh, and that's the other thing I saw them pushing for. I saw an article. I didn't read it, but they're pushing to try and tone down um, what we refer. They're trying to refer to HIV as a common treatable virus. First of all, it better not be fucking common. I mean, it's common among certain sects of people, obviously, certain groups of people, but it's a treatable virus. No, it's still a very deadly and entirely incurable fucking disease. But no, let's just make it. Oh, it's not a big deal. Let's just push bug chasing. There you go. Let's push fucking bug chasing. All right. These fucking liberal e-rags. This is what the conservatives need to go after. This is what they need to grow a pair of balls, and they need to just take a good harsh look at reality and realize that sites like the Daily Beast, Huffington Post, Vice, and Teen Vogue, and all these other leftist e-rags understand something. They are doing immensely more cultural damage than porn sites are. To, Porn is like a common cold that society could easily be fighting off, keeping at bay, and sexual degeneracy in general falls under this. Keeping at bay, keeping in the closet, keeping off in the dark alleys, because you're never going to eradicate it entirely. Just, keeping it at bay, keeping it to a minimum level where we can all still fucking have a civilization. All right, and you can still raise decent families and shit. You know, porn and all that shit's like the common cold, but these leftists are like AIDS, and they destroy the body politic's ability to fight off the common cold. All right, so these conservatives need to grow their fucking balls, and they need to stop going after porn because if they got their way, all they'd end up doing is handing some leftist bureaucrat power over the internet that they would promptly use to shut them down. No, they need to grow their fucking balls, and they need to see to it that things like Huffington Post, Daily Beast, CNN, all these leftist organizations, that they are burnt to the fucking ground, that they are in ashes. And yet, what's really funny, not only do they not realize what needs done, they actually bitch at people that are making steps in the direction of doing what needs done. These same conservatives are like, we gotta outlaw porn, whine that Donald Trump is mean to the leftist media. Oh, he doesn't respect the free press. Fuck you. You need to get it through your head what actually needs done. Let me bring this up again. Hang on. I want to see how long I've been going on. About a half an hour. I might make this a short stream then. Somebody says, remember 2015, Republicans pushed fascist, bigot, racist stuff on Trump because they wanted Jeb Bush, who was more liberal. And yeah, you know, go after the real fucking problem. All right. You know, you have allowed these leftist e-rags to push every manner of fucking degeneracy out there. And now your daughter's assholes are falling out. And you just refuse to look at who's actually doing it. What the hell? Chat disconnected. Am I still live? Yeah, I'm still live. Oh, there it is. All right. I think I'm going to wrap this up. This will be a short stream. I don't want to just go on and on when I'm, you know, don't have I don't have that much to talk about after this. So, real quick, some house cleaning. As I said, VidMe channel. Check it out. 3 videos on there right now. I'm thinking the 4th is going to be my top 10 things people like that I don't get. But we'll see. And as I said before, you know, there was a Mr. Matoker. He was on this channel a few days ago, about a week ago now. So do check that out. And if you enjoy the show, you know, there's a tip jar down below. Tips of any size are greatly appreciated. That helps me keep doing what I'm doing. And as I've said numerous times, and I'm not just saying this about me, it's a very good thing to support the alternative media that you enjoy. If that's me, great. I appreciate it. If that's other outlets out there, you know, somebody like Cantwell or I don't know, that guy T or fucking Alex Jones or the right stuff that got biz guys, whatever. Support them. It's a very good thing to do. So yeah, I want to thank you all for listening. Somebody says, when is the next stream? I have no idea. These are very spur of the moment. The next stream will be either Saturday or when I feel like I have other things to talk about or am exceptionally bored, whichever comes first. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Tip jar down below if you appreciate what I do. VidMe channel, do check it out. I'm very happy with how the VidMe stuff is coming out. And that's about all we got for tonight, folks. Bechtloff out.